Hello out there, everybody in Radio Land and Video Land. I think I almost got everything started at once today. What do you know? It's a good day, right? Yeah, it's a good day when you can get everything started at once. It's a little bit nipply out there today. Holy schmackers. I looked outside and it was like snowing. And what the heck? We were in the heady days. You could tell I got my hat on. 50 degrees and over, I don't wear a hat. But yeah, it's cold out there. The weather's in the dumper. And for the middle of April, 30 degrees. Gary Wilkins, the rodent, is not better than me. Well, it is a lot better than me, really. But hey, guess what? We know we're on the right side of it. We know where we're going. We know it's going to get better. That's the way it is. We just know this time of year. April showers bring May flowers, not April snow showers. There's nothing about that in the saying. And what do Mayflowers bring? Well, they bring pilgrims. Haha. Did you get it? See what I did there? But the day warms up nicely as we get through it. It's a little bit warmer than it was when I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So we're on the right side of it. Cheer up, everyone. You can see I have my DOGE shirt on, Department of Government Efficiency, and we're going to be talking a little bit about DOGE today. The DOGE team has been out on the road, and they sent in a report. I'll be talking about that. We got lots to talk about today on Your City, Your Voice. I'm Paul K. Lemire. We're at 4680Q Radio Studios, broadcasting live on Chrysler Avenue in downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you get a chance, please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a dime to subscribe, but you do get notifications when I post a video. It helps the algorithm. It helps me get my show out. And the more the merrier. We have 2 elections coming up. One in a couple weeks. Pretty big one, I'd say, for Canada as a country. And then we have the local one, the city council being reelected in October of 2026, only 1.5 short years away. You think it's a long way away, but it isn't. Not that long. People are already starting to talk about who's running, who's not running. So we're starting to get into it, and it's going to get crazier as we get closer to the day, because we want to replace a few people, right? Don't we? I don't know. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Have to wait and see what you think. But that's why, if you tune into the show, you can leave comments and tell me what you're thinking. Like the Iceman and 881 Slick does. They always have comments on here. We'll talk about them later, too. But first, my sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, and Hamel Machine Company. My 3 great sponsors. I love them to death, and we thank them so much for sponsoring the show. They bring the show to you every day. Wild Bill's Auto Repair. Well, I thought we were out of the weather, but here we are again now. And this isn't the time of year you want your car all goofed up on you, breaking down, standing out in this goofy weather. What you want to do is have it running right. And to have it running right, you take it to Wild Bill's, see Ken Hunter. He's going to give you a free spring inspection, check your car in and out, make sure that there's no error codes when he does a scan of your systems, and fix them if there are. He also has a full body shop there. And guess what? You take your car in wrecked, you come out in showroom condition, everybody's happy. Get those winter tires off, even though it doesn't look like you need it. Get the winter tires off, get the oil changed, get it ready for summer so you have no breakdowns. Check your AC system. You'll be good to go. You don't have to worry about it. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop on Oakwood Drive next to the Kia dealership. Give them a call today or go to their website, wildbillsauto.ca. Okay, let's get right into some viewer comments. I didn't have any Facebook funnies. I mean, I really haven't. Everybody's been kind of calm, like Canadians hate Trump. I mean, I know they do. They hate Americans, and they're yelling about elbows up and all that. But I really haven't got into any big discussions. It's not even worth it, to be honest with you, because the Democrats in the United States, they still don't get it. They're still trying to stop Trump from deporting these MS-13 and Trent Aragua gang members. They're still trying to stop them, these Democratic judges, and then the people in Congress that they're arguing about it. They have no right to send them home. They haven't done anything. But guess what? The majority of the people want these criminals and murderers out of the country. They just don't get it. These left wing people, they don't understand it. I think that Trump's got to sign an executive order to make insane asylums again, great again. It's time to bring the insane asylums back. Make asylums great again because people are whacked. I mean, how can anybody support keeping murderers and criminals and gang members in the United States illegally? Even if they weren't gang members, they're there illegally. So they're going, and that's all there is to it. These judges have no right to do this. These are terrorist organizations. They're here illegally, but still, the Democrats just don't get it. They don't get what the people want. They never will. Maybe they don't. They're still arguing against what the people want. It's insane. Okay, let's get to our viewer comments. The Iceman 69. Surprise only 8. Ask questions. Okay, so I tried to figure that out. I thought it was maybe only 8 people asked questions or only 8 questions were asked. But what he's talking about is Councilor Newesteg, only 8. She asked questions and he was surprised. And I'm not sure what part of the meeting Tuesday night, RAN, Councilor Only 8 was asking questions about, because she was rambling on incessantly about nothing. And I figure when I clocked her, I clock them. See how long they're up there talking about nothing. It came out to the whole meeting, maybe about an hour. And if you understand what an hour means in city council meeting time, that means $1,600 to taxpayers. That's right, $26 a minute, $1,600 an hour for every hour of meeting that we have. So if somebody wastes an hour, they just took $1,600 out of your pocket with nonsense. That's what he's talking about. $26 a minute. So when somebody gets up and starts talking word salads, asking ridiculous questions that they should be asking outside of the council meeting and that kind of thing, well, they're wasting your time. And when they're wasting your time, for every minute you clock, and I clocked about an hour, that is $1,600, $26 a minute. At Iceman 69, again, it's not minimum wage, should be based on 40 hours per week. Talking about the rise in minimum wage coming October 1st to $17.60 an hour from $17.20. Okay, well, it's minimum wage, $17.60 an hour. He's talking minimum wage as far as 40 hours a week go. Well, they're going to figure that out. Multiply 40 times $17.60. So I'm not sure what he means. Should be based on 40 hours a week. So what's he saying? If you get 30 hours, you figure out $17.60 an hour for 40 hours, and then you get the same as somebody who works 40 hours, working 30 hours? I don't know. He's going to have to explain that one to me, Johnny. You're on the hook to tell me that one, because if you think somebody working 30 hours should get paid for 40 hours, I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to say there. At the Iceman 69, it's illegal to put restrictions on another person's land without compensation. So when they ship by train, there is a 2-kilometer zone around the train, just in case. I don't know. Feds have distances in place. SciTech made a deal with the developer years ago. People came to believe it's a valid law. Urban myth. Now, he's talking about the SciTech 2-kilometer radius. And anytime there's a planning matter to build within that 2-kilometer radius around SciTech, now there's no law or anything. SciTech has just said if we have flare-ups or we have anything go wrong, you should think about a 2-mile radius around, and that's not 2 miles driving around the city to get there. That's 2 miles as the crow flies. Take a map where SciTech is and a string, and go like this all the way around it. That's your 2-mile radius. So he's saying that there's nothing that says they have to do that or anything else. Yeah, maybe that's true. Probably isn't. I don't think there is a law about it, or else they wouldn't be building inside that 2-mile radius, and they are. But the thing is, it's just a suggestion from SciTech. because, and they come to city council with a paper in hand, letting council know about that as recommendations. They might even have their law firms involved, because the bottom line is, if they've been warned, the city council, the liability's on them if they build within that. We told them, we went to city council, we had our legal team contact them, and they didn't abide by it. They didn't listen to us. So now the liability's on city council for approving that. Now, are they still responsible for whatever the problem is? Of course they are. It's their plant that did it. But people who are in the surrounding area, if they have to evacuate for a couple of days, have to get hotel rooms and all the other stuff, they might not be able to go back on SciTech on it. They're going to have to go on the city because the city let them build there. So the legal ramifications, I don't know. But I know one thing, SciTech isn't at city council meetings telling them this with legal papers in hand for no reason. Why would they bother if it doesn't matter? It does matter. And even though it's not a law, if they've been advised, they've been warned, and they go against it, city council, then they're going to be involved in whatever lawsuits come out of it if there is a major problem. At the Iceman 69. Oh, yeah. Okay, that was the last one. And at 881 Slick, Holy Iceman 69. Give others a chance to comment. Ha ha ha. Now that's funny. So they're my comments right there, the 3 comments. Now I had another one online, though, on my video. I always post it online on Facebook. And a gentleman named Joseph DiBiase, not sure who he is, never met the guy, don't know who he is, commented on my posting of the show. He said, let's make Trump-aligned puppet Pierre Poilievre go away. Say no to foreign interference in Canada. Say no to foreign-funded politicians. No to MAGA Maple. I guess he means no to Canadian MAGA, right? Make Canada great again. No to that. He doesn't want to make Canada great again. I mean, I guess before you're great again, you have to be great at one time. So basically, he's saying no. But to me, this sounds a lot like Art Carney. Norton? That's what it sounds like, Chinese interference, because everything about him screams foreign interference from China. And that's not who Canadians want foreign interference from. They own a lot of the country now. So, if you want to get interfered with by a country, you don't want China to be the one. We cannot let this sell out to China, an invader, sympathizer, run our country. I mean, all these liberals are the ones who let in all these immigrants, all these refugees, and we don't want them running the country again. As a matter of fact, we want to get rid of them. Get rid of a lot of these people who are here illegally. I mean, there's 1.2 million visas out there that have expired January 1st. I haven't heard of them deporting one person, rounding them up and sending them home, because that's where they should be going. Nothing. There's another 50,000 that applied for student visas and never showed up for a day of class. They're here illegally. They're supposed to be going to school. Those visas should be pulled, and they should be sent back to their home country. Not a word about that. And 20,000 of them are from India. Never heard a word about that. So we got 1.2 million, 50,000, at least that many, not including refugees from places maybe they don't need to be refugees from anymore. Refugees leave the country because there's danger. Once the danger passes, they can go back home. So I don't hear anybody rounding them up. That's a liberal thing. And selling out to China is another liberal thing. So all I can tell everybody is Carney's going to put the final nail in this country. So when you get out there, vote wisely. I don't care who you vote for. Vote for whoever you want, but vote wisely. Really look at the candidates and figure out what they're doing. I mean, there's a lot of stuff about Art Carney that is just with his companies, where he moved them to the States, where he's making his money from, and the things he wants to do, and it's not pro-Canadian. Anyway, enough of that. All I'm saying is Joseph DiBiase, you're going to vote liberal, you sound like, but let's just hope that your opinion and your vote doesn't prevail. City Council notes. Actually, congratulations to City Council. It was a pretty good meeting. I watched it all, and I told you about Councilor Only 8, wasting about an hour, but the meeting itself went really well. It was every councilor, even Councilor Triple F, Mona Patel, Triple F, she couldn't even beat the time that Rand wasted. And she's usually the biggest time waster. Rand's got her beat this time. Now, Mayor Jim, I think he thinks he's running the Queen Street version of Yuck Yucks. I mean, it was one real bad zinger after another. The only thing missing in the city council meeting is the guy with the drum. Yeah, so somebody take my wife, please. Went to the bank to get a loan the other day. I didn't get it. You know why? I think you could say they lost interest. You know, that's the kind of thing we need at city council meetings with a slappy Diodati there. He's just comedian. But chairman of the Parks Commission, Bob Gale, was there, and he gave him a few zingers. For Mayor Jim, I love Bob Gale. He's the best. Real guy, real character. But I was really interested when Mayor Jim was talking about the broken window theory. And if you watched the meeting, or even if you didn't, I'm going to tell you about it regardless. They were talking about the broken window theory. And way back in the 80s, when crime was running rampant in New York City, Mayor Rudy Giuliani came up with the broken window theory. I don't know if he came up with it originally, but he was the one who instituted it in New York City. And basically what it was is when there was an old abandoned building, a guy would throw a rock through the window. And if nobody did anything about it, everybody else would step up and throw rocks through the windows till all the windows were broken. So what Mayor Giuliani said is no more of this. When the guy throws a rock through the window, you arrest him, you hammer him with a jail sentence, 6 months in the can or a year in the can, or you fine him big time. No fooling around with these dum-dums. And so what happened is that a guy would throw a rock through the window, and then he'd be arrested on the spot and be thrown away. And eventually they got the message that if I throw a rock through the window, I'm going to jail, or I'm going to have to pay a fine. And if I can't pay the fine, I'm going to jail anyway. That's what the broken window theory is. If you let one go, then there's going to be more. If you take care of it right away. Now, Jim Diodati had that confused with something else, because his broken window theory means nothing. He said that if somebody spray paints graffiti on one of these boxes, like the one across the street here, we got to get there right away and clean it up, because if people see that sprayed, they're going to go spray other ones, and everybody's going to think they can spray them. Well, you know what? That's not going to work. I'm telling you right now, that won't work, because if you clean that off, they'll be there the next day doing it again. The only way you're going to stop it is if you arrest these guys and give them a $5,000 fine for defacing public property. That's what you got to do. And until somebody's willing to do that, they're going to just go around spray painting anything. And they'll just keep spray painting, and you clean it off. Mayor Giuliani didn't say we got to replace the window, because if we don't replace the window, no, he said arrest the person who broke the first one, and the other ones won't follow. And that's the same with this. Arrest the people who do this, throw them in jail, give them a $5,000 fine. If they can't pay it, it's going to be time served. You're going to have to serve time. That's the way you're going to stop it. You're going to tell these people they shouldn't be doing this, because it's all over the city now. And it's going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars to clean up. And if you don't cure it with penalties, then they're not going to stop. And then Councilor Triple F got up and said, well, if we had a wall they could paint on, they wouldn't be doing. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. These people are marking territories. They want people to see it. They don't want people to have to walk to some wall down an alley to look at their graffiti and their artwork. No, they want it out in the open in as many places as they can. Right? It's a competition to do that. So giving them a place to do it, sure, the law-abiding ones might. Sure, they might, if you start arresting them, they might say, well, I want to do my art. I'll just go where I can do it legally. But until you make the punishment, they're not going to do that. Right? They're just going to go, you're clean it up, they'll do it again. And unless you arrest them, they ain't going to no wall where nobody can see their artwork. They're going to keep doing it. And these guys are persistent. They spray painted the sign on the Drummond Road overpass that hangs over the QEW or Robert Street, whatever you want to call it, 420. They hung over and spray painted it. That's how intent they are on doing this. So if you think telling them they can spray legally on that wall in an alley or somewhere is going to work, no, it's not going to do it. They paint train cars. They like their artwork even to be moving if they can. The more people to see it, the better. It's a mark. It's a badge of honor. That isn't going to work. And wiping it off, cleaning it up isn't going to work either. The only thing that's going to work if you want to stop it is well, number one, for people that have pride in their city, right? And number two, so that doesn't happen. And number two is to arrest them. They gotta be fined in due time. That's all there is to it. And you can give all these other ideas and the broken window theory, which isn't what the broken window theory is, and everything else, but it's not going to stop it. The penalty has to exceed the thrill of doing it. That's what's going to stop it. And also, I mean, you look around the city, it's a friggin' mess anyway. It's a big junkyard all the time. Everywhere you go, there's litter all over the place, junk all over the place, things spray painted, just terrible. It's like when you rent a place out. If you give people a junk place to live in, slumlord conditions, they're going to treat it like that, and they're going to treat it like a slum. You give them something nice to live in that's kept up and clean, you probably won't have that problem. They're going to take care of it because it's too embarrassing not to. They won't turn it into a slum. They usually go to slums and keep them slums. They don't improve them, of course, because they're renting. So you want to have a nice, clean city to give people a good example and not to make it look bad. Now, let's see. Speaking of Mayor Jim, you don't have to go far to see what people think of the city. Yeah. Just check out his Facebook page. He was there with a picture of him and Michael Gurich from the Skyline Tower and the hotel there, the Holiday Hotel or whatever it's called on Murray Hill, across from the casino. And they were standing down by the falls, saying it's a beautiful day to take a walk by the falls. Look who you meet and that. So a nice picture, actually, right? And the residents' comments, they didn't hold back. They told Jim exactly what they thought. Here's a sample. Number one comment here. Jimmy boy must be on another holiday. Try taking a walk out of the tourist district. Maybe you'll notice our SHIT roads and homeless issues specifically on Main Street. One comment. Another comment. On my walk, I got asked for money by 3 separate homeless crackheads. Saw someone urinating on the side of a building and almost stepped in dog poop. The real Niagara Falls. Another comment. Enough with the photo ops. Clean up the city. Another comment. Your city has turned into a crime-infested dump. And another one. Clean up that dump to the right of the overpass on Victoria Street along the tracks. So these are real comments. Go to Facebook. Go to Jim Diodati. And look at that picture of him and Michael Gurich standing there. Beautiful parks behind him in the falls and everything. Beautiful down there. And look at some of the comments. This is real people telling Jim what they really think. And of course, for every critic out there, everybody who's yelling at him, there's also people who are complimenting him, like how good looking he is, how humorous Mayor Jim is, and that he looks like his father. One comment said, "He is only one man and cannot fix everything himself." And a reply to that, which, yeah, he can't go do it himself. I mean, he's got to send the city crews and concentrating on it. But he does have the authority to go and talk to city people and tell them what he'd like to see done. And as much as that could be true, he's only one man that can actually fix, but instead he approves property tax hikes and gives billionaires free tours like he did last week. And that was a picture of him and Richard Branson cavorting around the falls. And the person continues on that gave that comment is, you should come to city council meetings where he doesn't bring any of this up and actually votes against fixing our roads. I don't know about that one. I've never seen him voted against fixing our roads, I don't think. Does anybody else? Leave it in the comments. I don't remember him saying, I don't want the roads fixed. I mean, we see roads that aren't fixed and he doesn't get at them, but so not everybody's happy with Jim. His 15 years as mayor. I think he's 15 years now, isn't he? Something like that. But not everybody's happy, and people have the same complaints. The city's a mess. It's a dirty place. Regardless of what Councillor Patel said there at one time, oh, it's beautiful where I live. Everything's great. Obviously, she don't go around the right places in the city because it is a mess everywhere I look. Now, I got to get to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. You know, I told you I was going to get a tray yesterday. The tray special, $19.95 or $19.99 for a tray with 3 items. Sorry, $19.99 tray with 3 items. I got it. It was fantastic. And guess what I had for breakfast? Cold out of the fridge. I always do. I have that pizza cold out of the fridge. Fantastic the next day. The Mancini family for sauce and crust. Fresh toppings. They have awesome chicken wings. They have awesome fries and steak and cheese poutine, regular poutine, panzerotti. They do it all there. They got a menu that folds out 3 pages. All you have to do is dial 905-374-2222. And Rex down there, he's going to make you up a beautiful pizza pie. Some serious pizza over there. I really like it. Also, you can go to their website, petespizzavictoria.ca, and you can check out their specials. They also have the Thursday special for tonight. If you like some wings, $9.69 a pound. Done just right. Very, very good. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get that tonight. But anyway, I should, though. But yeah, Pizza Victoria. I mean, you can't go wrong. You want a good pizza, go see Pete's Pizza. They're consistent. They're good. You're going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. Support our sponsors because they support the city. Thank you very much. And they support the show. Now, an interesting note that came out of City Council. We'll stick on City Council for a minute here. The hospice, and I was surprised when I heard there wasn't a hospice in Niagara Falls. I don't know why. I just thought there was. I can't explain why I didn't know there wasn't. I just thought there was. When somebody said they have to go into hospice or whatever a family member does, I figured they were in the Falls. Apparently, the hospice is really needed in Niagara Falls. We need one. And there was things saying that it was turned down, and Councillor Peter Angelo, got up and was saying that it could be because we never had plans, we never had the land set aside, and maybe that's something we should do and get ready for it, so they approve it. But according to Jason Burgess, the Penguin, he said that the one that they talked about on Facebook, on social media, was not one that we had sent in our application for. Somebody knew we sent in an application and they thought it was that one. And so they said we were turned down. And I think it was because they saw we never got it. So they thought we missed out on it. But the truth is that the one that we did apply for, sent in our bid for one, hasn't been decided on yet. So we're still in the running, which is great. I think that's fantastic. We need a hospice in Niagara Falls, so I'm glad to hear we're still in the running, and hopefully, we get the okay for one. That would be fantastic. But if not, we got to keep knocking on the door. And Councillor Peter Angelo could be right. We may need the property set aside and plans for a building, how we're going to do it before they'll okay it. Whatever we need, though, I hope City Council takes into consideration and makes the appropriate moves, because we do want a hospice in Niagara Falls. Hospice, that's a plan. Hospice. Another interesting proposal that City Council came from Councillor Chris Dabrowski. And, he's a major master promoter and everything else, right? With this Comic Con and everything else. But he said he was down and watching when the arena got turned down, the Niagara Falls Memorial Arena got torn down. And he grabbed a brick and he had a professional chop the brick up into 400 pieces. And he took 100 of those pieces, put them in a card, like a card that talks about the Niagara Falls Memorial Arena, and it's kind of like a souvenir memory. He called it a relic card, and had Steve Ludzik sign the back of it. So it's kind of like a little collector's thing, right? And Steve's great. He anything for the city. That's the way he is. He's a human being and a great humanitarian and just a great guy. Played for Chicago Blackhawks and coached Tampa Bay. The guy's NHL, but just a really good guy as well. If you don't love Steve Ludzik, you might as well forget about it. You're not going to like anybody. But yeah, so he's going to sell these for $100, and there's 100 of them. That's $10,000, and they're going to give the money to the recreation committee to help less privileged kids get into sports. What a great idea. And he says if the city can sell them, that's $10,000 for this committee that helps kids. And he says he has 400 pieces of the brick, like I said. So there'll be other opportunities, maybe to get other celebrities from Niagara Falls, like Derek Sanderson, for one. I mean, he could sign them, and other people. There's a long and glorious history behind the Niagara Falls Memorial Arena. Most of the people my age spent our youths watching the Niagara Falls Flyers, and eventually we watched them win a Memorial Cup in the 60s. And it was a big deal in Niagara Falls for Niagara Falls Flyers to win the Memorial Cup. And most of those guys that were on that team went into the NHL and had NHL careers. So we saw them when they started into hockey and followed them through their career in the NHL. Very interesting, very good. Niagara Falls Memorial Arena is the way they went through. We had the big guys, Hap Ems, Harry Sinden, Boston Bruins farm team. They were all here, and they all played for the Flyers and then went up to the Boston Bruins. So a great idea. Way to go, Chris. I don't know, $100. You should be able to sell 100 of them. I'd say no problem. And that's $10,000, and then work on the other ones. But donated to the city from Chris Dabrowski to raise money for the Recreation Committee. Congratulations, Chris. Well done. Well done. And let's see. And a very nice tribute was made by City Council to city resident, philanthropist, and former city councilor Paisley Janbury Poole, who passed away last week or so. I mean, city residents know who she is. When you say Paisley, they know exactly who she is. They named part of the Millennium Trail Manor after her. She was on city council for I don't know how many years. She was right up there with Wayne Campbell and Wayne Thompson for sure. And Victor Peter Angelo knew that she was an environmentalist. She liked the environment and saving stuff. Was a big proponent. So he said that they'd like to plant a tree in her honor at the church she went to in Stamford, and see if the city would put that in for her in her memoriam. I love it. Thank you very much to the city councilor and Vic for saying this. I mean, I think it's fantastic, and Paisley Janbury was a good person. She's going to be missed. She's going to be missed in this city, like a lot of the other people who have passed away lately are going to be missed, like Wayne Campbell and other people. So, yeah, I'm glad to see they did that. Congratulations to the city council for that. Otherwise, the meeting went pretty well as planned. I thought there'd be a little bit more discussion around the Progress Avenue build, but um, they had it pretty well covered. They've done a good job on that. The concerns were about the chemical companies there and the industry there and that kind of thing, but they seemed, the planners and the developers, they seem to have all their ducks in order. So I didn't, like I don't know. I don't like building on contaminated land or close to chemicals and factories and industry, but they seem to have it all under control in that, and they've got the planning set aside, the land set aside for the wetlands, and to save the Midwestern painted turtles and snapping turtles and everything else. So, yeah, that's the only thing that I saw. Other than that, I didn't notice anything else. Maybe you guys did. A lot of people out there pick up stuff that I don't, especially the Iceman, John Ringo Beam. So if you have it, put it down. I'll talk about it. Okay, so DOGE, the DOGE agents, they're out in the street with Commander Gary Wilkins in charge of the DOGE team. And they sent me a picture this morning of a big pothole that was fixed. Now, the DOGE team seemed to think it was they were fixing a water main or something. I don't know. But anyway, there's a big area that had to be filled in. And I'm going to tell you, this city's got a lot of equipment. Go and look how many millions of dollars of equipment. This is the worst job I've ever seen. They filled it up with the coal patch for this time of year, and then they just rolled it with a big backloader, a back end loader. They rolled it with the tires. There's big ruts like this going down on it. I mean, you got tampers, you got electric tampers, you got rollers you can walk behind and roll it flat, and they left it like that. And you talk about the broken window, you leave that looking like a piece of crap, and then your people are going to treat the city like a piece of crap. I mean, come on. Big V marks. Remember you were a kid in the snow and you used to do this with your feet and it looked like a track? That's what it looks like. I mean, they could have rolled it over with a flat tire even. I mean, would have been better than that. But that's DOGE out in the street. We have the equipment. We have the money. We spend the money. If we're going to do a job and we're going to spend money on it, then let's do it right. I mean, we spend all this money on equipment. You mean to tell me we don't have something that can tamp that down or roll it flat? Do the job properly. Anyway, that's the DOGE thing. I mean, it's a waste of time and money the way they did it. That patch is going to kick up anyway, and they're going to be there paving it in another couple of weeks. But if you're going to put a patch in, at least roll it in properly. And that is the DOGE report for today. The DOGE, right here, DOGE. Oh, so there appears to be a 2-day concert series coming to Niagara Falls, bringing rock and roll and country to the Niagara Falls Convention Center on September 5th and 6th, called the Misty City Music Festival. Blues rock band Calio will headline the event on September 5th, and rising country star Riley Green will headline the following night, September 6th. Okay, I have no clue who Calio is, nor do I have any idea who Riley Green is. Okay, I'm out of it. That's fine. I'm out of it. Say I'm out of it. I am. I don't know who these people are. But I'll guarantee you a lot of people in the city don't know who those people are. Now, creative director Eric Dickinson said that more acts will be announced mid-April. And that each somebody's over there yelling at me on the thing, screaming over. It says that the Falls has never had a multi-day music festival of this scale. I think we have. But I digress. He wants to give Niagara Falls the reputation of a music city similar to Austin, Texas, and Nashville. Good luck with that. The event will include vendors, barbecue rivers, and Canadian-made beers. So 2 days of people I've never heard of, but you might have. And here's the kicker. The event ticket prices could pose a problem. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I don't know nothing. All I know is that it's going to be tough in my world for people to pay $129 for a 1 day pass and $229 for a 2 day pass. I don't know. I don't know if that can do it. I mean, we saw Light of Day go by the wayside because they didn't pre sell enough tickets. They couldn't put it on. That was a well known event that went on for years and years, and they couldn't do it. I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Tickets are available in advance right now at www.tixer.com. And I don't want to be a negative Nelly, but, I'm just giving my opinion. I talk reality. And if advance ticket sales are the barometer whether this is going to go down or not, I'm skeptical. And 129 bucks, I don't know. That seems like a lot. Seems like a lot. We'll see what they do. I mean, there's big events at the all year at the OLG stage, and they're around the city and region, and a lot of them aren't as expensive as that. And if you do pay that, you're paying for top notch, number one entertainment. Peter Frampton was there last night. Guys like that. That's who they're competing with. So we'll see, but it's supposed to happen, I think, in September 5th and 6th, I think. Something like that, anyway. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the pre-sales take off and if they can make a go of it. I hope they do. I wish them all the luck. Niagara Falls is a tough town, though. I know that. Okay, let's get to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. Now, Hamel's been around since 1948, serving small industry and large industry alike. Machine shops are an integral part of the industrial complex in any city. They do the jobs that need to be done so industries can continue on and not break down and be shut down for weeks at a time. So they're very, very important. They've been doing this since 1948. They're not a one. They do everything there: lathing, fabricating, computer design, rebuilds, overalls, custom and reverse engineered parts from samples, water jet cutting and 3D printing. They do it all. So if you have something you need fixed that isn't working, you sheared a pin on your lawnmower, your snowblower, whatever, take it down to Hamel. They're going to take a look at it and fix it for you, rebuild the whole thing if it needs to be rebuilt. That's what they do. That's what they're experts at. But they also are innovators and inventors. They go to businesses and look at the way they're running their production and stuff. And then they say, I think we can fix that and do a better job of it. And then they come up with new systems and ways to do things. Electrical engineers, IT people, they have designers, everything there. They can print parts on their 3D printer. It's unbelievable what they can do over there. Hamel Machine Company, for all your needs, go to their website, hamelmachine.ca. You'll see the phenomenal work they do in the industries they work with, but they'll also make a set of gates for your backyard if you need them. That's the way they are. They're just great people. Been around since 1948, serving Niagara. You can't go wrong. Support our sponsors because they support the show and they support the cities. They're big supporters of Niagara Falls. Okay, so University of Niagara Falls. Oh boy. But before we get to that, let's just talk about one thing before that. I saw it on Facebook and it intrigued me. Go to realtor.ca and you'll see the Hatch building on Queen Street up for sale for $1. The Hatch building, University of Niagara Falls, up for sale for $1. Now, I tried to find out what it's all about. I'm not sure why it's up for sale for $1, and I wasn't even sure who owned it until I heard a gentleman say is named something like Zoran Cuoco or something like that. And on Realtor.ca, there's another piece of land for sale, and that's the land on Buttry Street over here along I believe it runs behind the railway tracks along River Road, behind the Chinese temple there, and then all the way up the railway tracks and into Silvertown. 58 acres, I think it said. The same guy owns all that, and that's up for sale too. So I'm not sure what's going on. I've got to look into it further and see if anybody knows. But it's weird that Hatch building is up for sale for $1. John Ringo Beam, you got $1? Go buy it. It's already rented residence, and we got a university in there, University of Niagara Falls. But speaking of that, University of Niagara Falls, I mean, I don't know if this is a load of BS or not. You tell me. The officials at the school are claiming there are now 2,000 students attending the school, and the vast majority go to the Hatch building for their studies. The spokesperson claims that there are over 200 staff there and 2,000 students. VP of University of Niagara Falls, David Gray, said, "We know that we are a key part of the city's strategy in relation to rejuvenating the downtown area. We can already see the changes. I've been here for 18 months. I walk up and down Queen Street and I see the new businesses and I see my students walking up and down and my faculty members doing the same." Okay. I mean, I drive down Queen Street twice a week because I want to check out what's going on with the university and other stuff down here. What kind of vagrants are hanging around and what kind of a mess Queen Street. I check it out all the time. I'm up and down the street. I have never seen close to 20 people walking around. I don't know, 2,000 people? I'd say 100 people walking around would be a lot. I haven't seen anybody. I don't see anybody out in front of City Hall sitting on those benches. I don't see people going in and out of the school. I don't see people walking around. I don't see anybody. So where he gets these numbers from, I don't know. And how it's affected the downtown, the changes in 18 months, I haven't seen any changes. It's gotten worse, if anything. And I don't know. I don't see students walking the streets, and I haven't heard about any businesses benefiting from 2,000 students. You think it'd be in the paper saying this is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Sure, businesses are opening, but they close down shortly after, except for the weed places and Taps and Grand Central. I mean, a business right across the street from the University of Niagara Falls, a coffee shop, closed its doors recently. They couldn't afford to stay open. Shopping cart people and vagrants still wander Queen Street. A guy just got stabbed across from the University of Niagara Falls a week or so ago. I see people wandering around, wasted out of their minds, urinating wherever they want, and staggering around to try to stay on their feet. I see it every day. I'm sitting here every day watching, and I drive up and down the street twice to see what's going on, twice a week. I'm not seeing any of this, so I just don't understand or know what this guy is talking about. But obviously, he's got this. I don't know. Is he? Is he? Is he? I think he's giving us a little bit of the. He's giving us a little bit of the. Yeah. What do you call that? Gaslighting? Yeah, I think that's what you call it. Gaslighting. I think that's what you call it. But I guess if there's 2,200 people hanging around there, that's good. I haven't seen it. Nobody's told me there is. If anybody knows anything else, let me know because I find that amazing. I think the busiest places I see people at are the medical center over here in Grand Central. I mean, even if the guy said there's 100 people on the street every day, I'd say, well, I haven't seen that neither. I think you noticed that, right? And he said, oh, and 2,000 people. Where are they living? I mean, we got 200 homeless in the city that can't find places to live, but these students all are housed and they automatically have places to live. 2,000 students? I don't know. There's no housing. Everybody says there's no housing in Niagara Falls. You got to build more homes. Build homes faster. Build 23. Prove everything. Build nothing. City motto. Prove everything. Build nothing. I don't know. This sounds like a fish story to me. I don't get it. Now, Mayor Jim said it's incredible how much the University of Niagara Falls has integrated into the fabric of the city. And I agree. They've integrated so well, I can't even find them. I mean, there's a legend of Gus and the legend of all these students, but I don't know. He says Gus is going to break ground on a new campus and student residence later this year. Well, if the Hatch building is up for $1, oh, I guess they're going to keep the contracts that they have signed with the Hatch people. Anyway, a couple $100 million investment in the student campus and housing. They bought that land there at the end of Queen Street where the old King Eddie used to be to build student housing. Well, we'll see what happens. Let the results be the judge. That's the only thing I can say. Thanks for the great article from Ray Spiteri of the Review. Check out the whole story online if you want to know more. I'm just giving you the highlights and my opinions on what I think. But I'm not seeing a lot of this. Okay, over to our federal election. Things could be getting a bit worrisome, not only in the Niagara Falls riding, but across Canada. For some reason, this Art Carney, Norton, is making headway, even though he would be a disaster for Canada. Of course, the left-wing media is bought and paid for, and the polls are probably so biased that's not even real. They're just piles of horse excrement. That's it. But still, you're starting to tell the same lies to enough people over and over again. They believe it. I mean, has anyone heard of a talk of a debate? Are we going to see Carney versus Poilievre on the podium? And then get Jimmy Dollywall in there for comic relief? The Maserati Marxist, or the Raja of Rolex? I don't know. I haven't heard any debate going on. I don't even think there's going to be one around here. I think Niagara South and Niagara West, or whatever the heck it's called over there, I think they had a debate, but I don't think we're going to see one here. I don't know why. I'd like to see Tony Baldinelli go up against Andrea Kaiser. I don't even know who the NDP guy is or the Green Party person. No. I know who the Green Party person is. Karen Fraser. I'm pretty sure that's who it is. But, yeah, I'd like to see PP get up on stage and give Norton a dressing down. Ralphie boy. I don't know, Ralphie boy. Norton's promising all kinds of gifts, but he doesn't say how he's going to pay for any of it. Deficit spending, the economy will take care of itself. Haven't we heard that before from Le Petit Patat? I mean, his tough stance on Trump and tariffs aren't doing Canada any favors. That's not the way to deal with President Trump. But they keep on, elbows up. Now, we saw Trump get calls from 75 countries saying they want to negotiate the trade deals. They want to do it, and that includes the European Union. And now I heard maybe even Canada wants to get in on the action. And they should. Canada should sit down and talk to them. We'll find out after April 28th what they're going to do. But for now, it seems the candidates are holding tough with their me Canada, elbows up stance. And I don't like that, but, they may renegotiate and fold like cheap suits anyway, right? But it's going to be tough even in Niagara Falls with Fort Erie being dropped off the district. It's all red now. Niagara Lake versus Niagara Falls. And you never know what Niagara Falls is going to do. They're weird here. They're weird. I still give Tony Baldinelli the edge. I give him the win. But it could be a lot closer than everybody thinks. So everybody's got to get out and vote. Get out and vote. This could be the most important election of your lifetime. You got to get out and vote. We don't want Carney in again. And that's the way it is. It's your city, your vote. Get out and vote. Blue. Get rid of these liberals. 10 years, they've ruined everything. Let's get rid of them. You can't expect the people who cause the problems to fix the problems. I keep saying that, whether it's city council or anything. The people who create the problems can't fix them. If they could, they would have fixed them by now. They only made them worse. So you got to get rid of them. Clean, sweep, majority for blue. Get rid of them all. And that takes people coming out to vote, getting out to vote. If you don't get out and vote, Carney gets back in. Well, don't blame me. I'm probably the only conservative talk show from here in Ontario, maybe. Everybody else is liberal. You'll listen to them. TDS, MDS, hate anything to do with common sense. I'm the only guy. So we saw the stock market drop and everyone was freaking out. Even the markets were still, even though the markets were still 5,000 points above their average for the last 7 years, right? And now we see it pounding over the 40,000 mark again. They came up. And of course, the liberals, left-wing Democrats, they got to get in on it. And Shifty Shift, who should be going to jail any day now, is looking into insider trading by Donald Trump. Oh my God, this guy. Make asylums great again. Donald Trump, pass an executive order to make asylums great. We need asylums for these people. I mean, what happened is that 75 countries picked up the phone, called Trump, and said, hey, we want to negotiate. Don't put the tariffs on us. We want to negotiate. Give us a chance to explain our situation. And Trump said, okay, I'm going to pause the tariffs for 90 days, give everybody a chance to have their say. That's the way it's going down. And at the end of the day, that's all Trump wants. He just wants fair. The United States has been being picked on and hammered by these tariffs in these other countries for years now. And he said, no, it's over. It should have been done a long time ago. Nobody had the stones to do it. I'm doing it. And he's sticking to it. So they came up. So that's why the markets have reacted to that. And that's why he paused these tariffs. And you know what? Once all these deals have been made and they're in the books, then this market is probably going to go to all-time highs. And I said this last week, maybe this week. I said it on Monday about the stock market. It's a whole situation. Everybody's crying about their 401ks and all that, but don't worry, it's going to work itself out. The economic foundation, the basics of the United States are good. And with DOGE cutting money and trying to get rid of that $36 trillion deficit, the interest on that deficit every year is around $1.8 billion, more than the tax, $1.8 trillion, more than the tax revenue they take in. So this is what DOGE is trying to do. And this is what Trump is doing, bringing in trillions of dollars of investment in the United States to get the economy going again. It's going to come back. Don't worry. Relax. Just hold on. Don't do anything crazy. When you see the stock markets go to 37, 38,000, it's time to buy. Buy. It's on sale. Don't sell because you want to buy low and sell high, not buy high and sell low. And it looks like even Canada might have finally reconsidered their position. They want in on the deal. But Trump said he's not going to be very kind with countries that treated the U.S. badly during these tariff talks with Canadians, calling Americans everything in the book, boycotting American products and America itself. And basically, we're not very friendly at all with retaliatory tariffs and elbows up attitude. That behavior didn't help the situation. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned. This is a never-ending story that changes with the wind. So we'll see what happens over the next few days. And with that, I'm out of here. Believe me, this hour goes way too fast, man. Way too fast. But tomorrow is finally Friday. And tomorrow is show number 500. Congratulations to me. Peter Dichter's going to be in the studio to celebrate. And he was here for the 100th, 200th, 300th, 400th. And he's going to be in tomorrow for the 500th. And I consider it a milestone, although when you look at Peter, he's done 20, 30,000 shows. He's been doing this his whole life. So 500 seems like a drip in the pond of a professional announcer like Peter, but it's a big milestone, 500 shows. A lot of work, a lot of fun. I enjoy every minute of it. A lot of good comments, a lot of bad comments, some things people like, some they don't like, but at the end of the day, I've lasted 500. And I'm sure when Peter gets in here, we're going to talk about the upcoming election in Canada, the Southern situation, what's going on in the States, and maybe some city council stuff if I have it there, see if there's anything else that comes to light that I have to talk about. But you have to be tuned in to be tuned in. Tune in every day at noon, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at noon for Your City, Your Voice. And Wednesdays, of course, are absolutely. The Habs are making the playoffs. Our Russian stars coming over. Things are lining up. The most feared team in the NHL right now. Everybody's watching them. Anyway, I'm out of here. Support our sponsors. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, and Hamel Machine Company. Please support our sponsors because they support the show and they support the city. And I'd like you to support them. That makes sense. My name is Paul K. Lemire. I'm live here at 4680Q on the radio at noon. And you should see the video drop by about 3 o'clock. Leave comments, subscribe. It costs nothing. Let's get this show rolling, get it going. The more the merrier. And yeah, we're going to take on the lefties. Yeah, we're going to take them on. We're going to dispel everything. We're going to tell what we think. The only show with a conservative view. And we'll ask Peter that tomorrow. If there's any other shows. He's into this more than I am even. Anyway, I'm out of here. Have a great day. God bless you all. Talk to you tomorrow at noon with Peter Dichter on Finally Friday. Ciao, ciao, everybody. And don't forget, DOGE agents, go to work.